What is going on, you guys? AK40 Kevin here in the gamer heaven, and I bought the cheapest new laptop I could find on Amazon that didn't have specs that made me throw up in my mouth. So, is it any good? Alright guys, over here on the Stormtrooper desktop, and as you see, I finally did something with the cable management. It's not absolutely perfect, but it's tucked out of the way with some zip ties, and cleaned it up quite a bit. Looks a lot better. It's just kind of a temporary fix. I obviously have some plans to make it a lot better, but you know, time will tell. Alright, we're going old school. The unboxing knife we're using today is the monochrome one that I had at the hotel. So, this is an HP, as you can tell by the branding on the box. Very simple box, just cardboard. Has the Hewlett-Packard or HP Pavilion on there. Includes Microsoft Office 360 Personal, 1-year subscription. However, I have a legally obtained version of Microsoft Professional, pardon me, that I will be installing. There's an Intel up inside of her, and there's a hand grenade in here apparently. So, things to be cautious of. So this is a Intel Celeron processor. It's an N4000. It has 64 gigabytes of memory. It's eMMC. It has 4 gigabytes of DDR4 RAM. No optical drive, but I don't use a disk anyway. Windows 10 Home, 14-inch diagonal HD LED display, and it has wireless and Bluetooth. So I was a little skeptical because it only has 4 gigs of RAM, but then I have to remember I'm not using it for gaming or anything like that. I'm strictly using this for work, for making PowerPoint presentations, for making courses, for working on ebooks, stuff like that. So I don't really have to worry about running out of power. I'm not even doing any major video editing on there. That's kind of what the Stormtrooper PC is for. It's, you know, work and play, 16 gigs of RAM, nice CPU, nice GPU. I can do 4K video editing on that, and then switch over and get some kills in Call of Duty. So this is not as versatile. It's just for me to be able to take it with me on the go so I can still be productive and still work on content. So, alright, very basic packaging. Alright, got everything out of the box, sweet. You have your power cable. Well, part of it, this is the other part. Little tiny charger brick. I remember my last laptop, the charger brick was like that big, and it used to get hot as fuck. Like you could light a cigarette off it, it was ridiculous. HP tape there. I think that stands for Harry Potter, but I'm not sure. Pull this thing out of its condom. Go raw. Alright, so on the bottom you have two, what looks like speakers, so that's interesting that it has speakers on the bottom. It has 2 rubber strips to keep it from sliding. Has kind of what looks like an aluminum material, but it's definitely plastic. I mean, they obviously have to keep build costs down because this is a very, very inexpensive laptop. I think this is like 130 or 140 bucks. I'll have the price and model stats right here on the screen for you guys. Alright, so pretty good sized screen. I think a 14 to 15 inch screen size is perfect for a laptop. Like I said, I'm not using this for gaming or video editing. It's literally just for me to stay on top of business, you know, check emails, be able to run certain programs that my cell phone either can't run at all, or the screen is just, it's not intuitive to be able to drag and drop icons and do things like that. So, got this little protective sheet in here. Have your keys. I don't know if these are backlit, but we're going to find out. Oh, I love the keyboard feeling. It almost feels like mechanical. It's very, very clicky, very responsive. I like where your palm rests on here. It's got like kind of a textured feeling. Have your little mouse pad on here, or your touchpad. Very nice. And then you have just very minimal branding on the front. HP, Intel inside, and Stream, which I think is the name of the model. It's the Stream 14-inch. So let's read through the instructions real quick, which are right here. Alright, some warranty information. Questions about the product, you can contact their little support line and talk to somebody that's definitely not in the United States. Alright, little quick start guide, simple enough. You don't know how to use your laptop, you should probably not be watching this video, but plug it into the wall, open it, hit the power button, you're up and running. So we're going to do the initial setup right now and see what the video quality's like, see what the sound quality's like, and see how it runs, just some basic tasking.
And if you'd like me to stay quiet, just select the little microphone icon towards
You know,
the
I think I would like
screen.
that. If you could just hush up, Cortana.
If you need to, US. Want to stick with that?
Yes. Yes.
Do you also type with another keyboard layout?
Nah.
Now let's get you connected to a network. That way you can get updates, apps, and cat videos as soon as possible.
Ah, she knows me
How
too
about
well.
the first one on the list? Want to use that one?
No. No.
Okay, how about this next one on the list?
Nope. Nah.
0 for 2. I'll quit guessing now. Go ahead and select the one you'd like to use.
It was actually the third one, but damn, that's good internet. Yep, that's mine.
Now type your credentials.
Look away, guys. Here, look at the stuff back there. Stare at the gamer wall. Trying to sneak my password, you sneaky little bastards. Alright, you can come back today.
Mission accomplished. We're all linked up.
The sound quality's ass. Like when she's talking, there's not even a lot of bass in her voice because it's a female voice, but it's just like really rattly and tinny. Part of that's probably because the speakers are firing downwards, but they're also just really cheap speakers, you can tell. This thing isn't touchscreen,
Now I
is it?
have some important setup to do.
Of course it's not touchscreen. That was a stupid question on my part. Brightness is actually maxed out right now, and it's not very bright, and this room's actually quite dimly lit. Like if I turn on my
Email address or phone
LED
number,
light ring,
then follow the instructions to sign in. I'll catch up with you once that's
there's a
done.
lot of glare on there. The screen is not good with anti-glare because it's not like a matte finish, like a LCD that you'd be used to. It's got a glossy tint over it, and it makes it... I can see myself clear as day, unfortunately. My ugly mug staring back at me. And it's not that bright, which kind of sucks. But hey, you get what you pay for, and I'm cheap, so I got a cheap laptop. But I also got this beast over here, so can't feel too bad. Alright. I'll put my burner email account in there. Look away again, boys. Lord. Alrighty, boys, so I've had this godforsaken HP laptop, if you even want to call it that, for the last 4 months or so, and it struggled with even the slightest tasks. I wasn't even doing any major video editing or anything like that, but just launching basic programs was super, super slow. Not to mention there is very, very little actual onboard storage here. Like, you can't store shit. I have the specifications on the screen here, and I kind of knew that getting into it, that it's a very, very base spec model, and I kind of wanted a cheap laptop, something that I could thrash around and whatnot, but I really didn't thrash it around. I babied it, and it no longer works. So very unfortunate. It turns on, but the screen is completely black. I did every soft reset you could imagine. I watched a shitload of YouTube University videos, you know, holding down Escape and F4 and Windows and R and this and that, where you basically have to cramp your hands up like the guy from Scary Movie in order to hit all the keys. None of that works, so I'm thinking it's probably a RAM card, the one RAM card in there, the like 2 gigabytes of DDR3 RAM or whatever's in here, has come loose, but it makes it very difficult to get in here because unlike a regular laptop that has Phillips head screws on the bottom or even a way to like slide the bottom shell off, this is completely sealed up because they don't want people tinkering with it, but very frustrating. But when it did work, the screen resolution was very, very poor. You could actually see pixelation around a lot of the images and the text and whatnot. It struggled to launch a lot of programs, and a big downside is that because it runs in basically a constant safe mode where you can only install applications from the Microsoft Store. If you want to install anything else, it's a third-party company like Streamlabs OBS or, you know, even like a third-party antivirus that isn't sponsored by Microsoft, you have to turn off the safe mode, which is kind of a process, and then install it, and then your storage fills up, and you basically need to have an external hard drive if you're going to rock this. I can only really recommend it if you are going to do the most basic of tasks, and even still, I feel a little bit hesitant to do it because I treated it very, very kindly. I never dropped it or played Frisbee with it or anything like that, and it no longer works after 4 months, which is pretty crazy. So I'm going to take it apart, see if I can fix the RAM, but damn boys, not a great laptop. There's a lot better options out there. I would actually recommend going on like Facebook Marketplace or Craigslist or something like that and buying a used laptop, preferably from somebody that knows a little bit about computers, so they've kept up with Windows updates and antivirus software and has taken good care of the machine. Because this is pretty insane for a new laptop like this. And also it's just very, very light, which means a lot of the components in here are probably pretty cheap. I mean, it is a very compact laptop as well. I think the screen size is about 11 or 13 inches, pretty tiny. But yeah, I had my 15-inch gaming laptop, my HP Omen, so another HP product, but I had that for about, man, like 4.5 years, and that thing could run most AAA titles in like 1080p, 60 frames, and that was an older laptop too, and that had been through a ton of underways, a deployment, where it was taken in and out of my rack for 6 months. That thing had been through moves, all kinds of shit, and it's still plugging away today. I ended up selling it and getting a good portion of my money back and putting that into the Stormtrooper desktop over here. So really can't advise towards getting this. I will have a link to it in the description below if you do want to check it out for yourself, but I would make sure that you keep a close eye on the performance of it. Make sure you stay within warranty. I don't even know if I should be in HP's warranty. I'm sure it has probably a 6-month to 12-month warranty. I am out of the 30-day window to return it to Amazon, so I'm going to have to, see if HP can fix it if I can't crack it open myself and fix the RAM. But yeah, just overall not great. The speakers, the onboard speakers are terrible, which you would assume from a cheap compact laptop. Like I said, the resolution's not good. The brightness is another thing. It's very dim. So if you're in a brightly lit room, or God forbid you're outside or something, you're not going to be able to see the screen. I had it maxed out all the time, and it was bad. It was bad. Performance would struggle if you had more than, I don't know, four web browser pages open and maybe a document or something like that. It would start running really sluggish. Because you're filling up that 2 gigs of RAM and that 1.3 gigahertz CPU, or God knows whatever's in there. It's not a great laptop, boys. That's it. Peace.